Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ruff, ruff.
First and foremost, welcome on back. But this part is going to sound different than the rest of the video. I do need to apologize because yesterday I said new video tonight, and obviously, now it's tomorrow. So, yeah, things do happen. I came home from work and I fell asleep. I'm a human being and a very flawed one too. But yeah, sorry for the delay. I hate to keep the fans waiting. You know what I mean? But yeah, speaking of schedules, here's what I'm thinking, right? Because I'm thinking a week straight of videos. I was supposed to post this yesterday, and then I was gonna say on Monday we're gonna do a straight week of videos, and then then we'll probably take a break or two, or a break for a day or two, because it's a little too much Vincenzo, and then probably not one or two, honestly more like 2 or 3, but then we'll come back to maybe every other day or so. I don't want to just be like pumping these out. I do want to put some effort into them. That's why, even like this one, like, it's not that especially for me being brand new to this, it does take me a little bit of time. So I'm not going to lie to you. I ain't never going to lie to you. But yeah, I appreciate you guys being patient and just for being here with me. We will be talking about that later on. Got to give you guys credit where credit is due. You're all fucking amazing and I love you. But yeah, with that being said, let's just move right back on into the video. So yeah, remember that. We'll be doing video tomorrow. There will be a new video tomorrow, and then we'll do one for the entirety every day of the next week. And then you know what? On Friday, we're going to do a little Q&A or something. Talk about whatever you guys want me to. So make sure throughout the entire week you're sending me messages, or if you know me personally, you can text me if you want me to talk about something. Leaving a comment, just letting me know. You know what I mean? And you know what? Perfect transition, because this next part we're talking about Antonio, and that's one of our favorite, for some reason, one of our favorite jokes. So, here we go. Also, one more important thing that you guys kind of need to know is I recorded like the first half of this video last night on my way home from work. And yes, this first half I'm about to finish recording right now. So, like I said, I ain't never gonna lie to you. You would never know it if I didn't tell you, but I feel like the people needed to know. So, thanks for watching. We love you. Welcome back in, guys. How are you? I had a whole thing already recorded and prepared from when I was driving over to go meet Antonio, but the footage I have is only 17 minutes long, and honestly, there's quite a bit of rambling, so figured I just pulled over. I'm in my car yet again, just got off of work, so I figured, fuck it. We'll just give it a redo. You know what I mean? We're going to get this thing one take. That's what we do, how we do it. Yeah, by the way, how are you guys doing tonight? My name is, you know what it is. This is how we do it. This is how we do it, guys. Excuse me. This video is specifically dedicated to Antonio, and we will get into why later. But a couple disclaimers to get out of the way, a couple things to say. Thank you guys, first and foremost, thank you so much for all the support on the last video. I mean, that just blew my mind. It was crazy. Like I said, even the last take that I did when I was on my way to go drive Antonio, I mean, it was like 60-something views. Every time I went to go check it, like I would go to do a take and go to check it, it would just be up and up and up and more. And incredible, like actually crazy. I don't even know what it's at now. I will go check probably after I post this, but just seriously, thank you guys so much. We love having you around, and we hope you continue to keep coming back. Thank you. You'll always be welcome here, no matter who or what you may be, unless you're a Republican, then you can get the fuck out of here. You know what? Another disclaimer, by the way, just a question for you guys. What if Obama was to stage a fight outside of that library he just built? What do you think they would say? I think they'd call it pretty ghetto. I mean, I think anybody else does it, has a bunch of people get together on their front lawn beating the shit out of each other, I think they call it pretty ghetto. Anybody else. But for the president, it's patriotic, you know? Anyway, as you saw at the beginning, yeah, unfortunately it's true. Entirety of this video is made by AI. The whole thing. But no, seriously though, I really did kind of break my heart. Because when I was researching some of the stuff for this video, to spite Antonio, which again, we'll get into later. But I really wanted to include this fun fact that I had found, and it was from a YouTube video, and I went back to it to go and look and see if they had their sources in the description, and when I went in the description, I saw this, and it really kind of broke my heart, honestly, because I'd been seeing something on YouTube where, a lot more recently, where it seemed like people were enjoying learning. You know, like they got that Vsauce. They got Vsauce and that Cambridge professor making a podcast. I mean, educational videos, like entertaining, deep dive educational videos are doing well out there. I mean, people got 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. I mean, your entire life worth of hours that you can fall asleep to. You know what I mean? Of just pure facts about anything. So, yeah, it seemed like people were like a little bit more interested in learning. And I was so happy to see that. And then, boom. It kind of just struck me like a bag of bricks. Like, oh my God, it's all just AI bullshit, dude. Like, it's all just fucking schlock. So, that being said, I just want to said right here, right now, I will never disappoint you like that. I will disappoint you, but I will never disappoint you like that. That's just ridiculous, dude. Like, to be real, that's just ridiculous. I mean, I can guarantee you 1,000% that there will never be any second, any graphic, any example, any music, anything used, unless it's for, like a demonstration purposes or to make fun of it. You know what I mean? Like, that will be AI. I can promise you. The contents within this video, all of these videos will be shit, but they will be authentically my shit, because I only know how to be me. There's nobody else that I could be. So keep that one in mind as you walk through life, guys. So what are we here today for? Because we hate Antonio. Antonio is, by the way, this is a picture of Antonio. Antonio is my brother. Let's save the picture of Antonio. Antonio is my brother, 2 years older than me. Fun fact about Antonio, the entire time we were growing up, I never saw my parents hug him once. Not a single time. They might have done it, but not in front of me. You know what I mean? All right, now we can put up the picture of Antonio. This is a picture of Antonio when he was a baby. Yeah, I know. Right? I know. Look, before you guys say anything, yes, we did go and run some tests. We had a couple exams done. They still don't know. To this day, they still don't know. And I showed this creature my video, the first one, the other day, and he was, not blown away. Yeah, I didn't expect him to be blown away. Never expected blown away. But he said something that ticked me off. It irked me. He was like, so what's the video? It's just you talking while you're playing with Snoopy and Shadow? And I said, yeah, Antonio, it's most YouTube videos. People talking. And this is the part that irked me. He said, yeah, but let me do an impression of my brother for you. Yeah, but they usually have a little thing called, substance. Substance. And that's what pissed me off. Because the thing is that it's like, you want substance? Okay, I'll give you substance abuse. You know what I mean? Like, I'll overdose you. I don't care. So, in this video, for all the eggheads out there listening, including you, Antonio, actually specifically you, King Egghead, by the way, again, this is a picture of Antonio as a baby. Yeah, I know. The craziest part is that the actual picture of Antonio is 100 times even worse. For the sake of his future and the hope that he will maybe get a job or a wife. I mean, we're really, really holding out hope on that one. Yeah, I won't show it, but, I will, however, at the end, put in a video of Antonio that I took today when I did the first take and I was on my way to go meet him for lunch, as soon as I sat down, for some reason, there was a big thing of wasabi on the plate, and he just ate like half of it. And then the video at the end, that is his reaction as it follows. And you know what? At the end, too, when I'm done berating him, I will put an AI joke that he has. He has probably the best AI joke I've ever heard. So simple, so stupid. But yeah, back to hating Antonio, you know? Anyway. So, okay, you know, because of Antonio, now all of you have to sit here and you have to get a fucking lesson. Okay, you're all going to sit here and learn a thing or two. All right? Sorry, school's in session. I don't know what to tell you. Get out your pencils, get out your boards, and sit down and shut up. All right. I would like to go over today what I think is probably the coolest scientific discovery of 2026 so far. And before that, actually, Antonio, I would like to ask you, what is your favorite scientific discovery of 2026? Huh? Right. That's what I thought. Do you even know any of them? Right. But basically...
Yeah, so basically, my dad called me, and then I went home, I took him to the park, and then I came, and I fell asleep. That's what you guys saw at the beginning of the video. But I got about 5 minutes left, and about an hour before I go to work, so we're going to get this thing done before then. So 5 minutes left of footage, I mean. So let me explain this to you. It has to do with how life may start, a rice field in South Korea, and a meteor. So... Alright, we've switched on back over. So, yeah, let me take you guys back to a little time before the 1970s. So before the 1970s, we had known that in order for life to exist, you needed water, you needed the sun, and you needed H2O. You know, all those delicious things that we have on our planet that we love. And then in the 1970s, they started finding these things called hydrothermal vents, which, if you guys didn't pay attention in school, hydrothermal vents are these things that, these jets of warm water that seep out of the Earth's surface on the floor of the ocean. I mean, I'm talking deep, deep on the ocean floor. And there's ecosystems entirely built around these things that use the heat from these hydrothermal vents in order to start life. So after that, kind of the whole thing flipped on its head. It was like, okay, so you don't even need the sun. You just really need like a thing of heat and some water and oxygen and all that delicious shit that we love. And so this kind of changed things. You know, it changed the way that we even thought about things, about how we thought life could potentially exist and what was possible. Because beforehand, we had only ever been looking for life in this so-called Goldilocks zone. Like this habitable range that planets had to be within, that wasn't too far away from their sun, but not too close. Something where life, you know, we thought could exist. And so then in the 70s, when this came along, you know, obviously the whole thing switched. And now, in the year of whoever your Lord is, 2026, we have found evidence that life could potentially start at the impact sites from meteors. Let me explain. Hold on. So, the heat generated by an impact from a meteor, asteroid, whatever it may be, could be great enough to where in the surrounding area, everything could come together, you know, and things could form, and life could exist. And before you completely write this off, they found evidence of this in a rice field in South Korea. This huge field people had only been using for planting rice. They started doing tests on it, and they figured out it was an impact from a meteorite, or asteroid or comet. There is a difference. I don't know it. I really should. But yeah, whatever it may be, it's an impact site. And they found these things called stalagmites, which are, I didn't even know this, the oldest physical evidence we have of life on Earth, with some stalagmites, and I think it's Australia, dating back to 3.5 billion years old. Yeah, billion. Crazy. But basically what these are is a bunch of little microorganisms that pile on together, and over time they form these like rock-like formations. And So, obviously, even though it's not complex life, it's evidence of life. And from then on, I mean, you guys know how evolution works, hopefully. From then on is where, the complex life would go. From these things is where it would come from. And the current rice field right now in South Korea, actually used to be a shoreline. That's what they deducted. So it kind of makes sense. And they found evidence that, life just sort of spawned off from there and just kind of existed after that. And this is insane. Like, it might not sound too crazy to you, but like, this is nuts. I mean, it completely reshapes the entire way that we thought life could be possible. You know what I mean? There's billions of planets out there getting pulverized by comets, meteors, asteroids, whatever it may be, that if life were actually able to start, given that the planet had the right ingredients, from like something like this as the genesis, I mean, that's crazy. That's just insane. Aliens do definitely exist. They're real. We know. I'm not going to say we have them, but we know. We know that they're out there. We know about them. Going to be soon. I do think they're going to reveal them soon, to be real. I mean, they're killing off a bunch of scientists that work at like jet propulsion laboratories and stuff. That we'll have to do a deep dive on during our intra-week jamboree, our first week jamboree that we got coming up on Monday. But yeah, I mean, it's nutty. It's truly, truly nutty. Think it's just something awfully fascinating. Might not sound like a lot to you guys, but very, very cool to me. So yeah, Antonio, why don't you take that and suck on it, you piece of shit. I hope you learned a thing or two. I hope all of you learned a thing or two. Thank you so much again for spending some time with me. A shout out to Anton Petrov, I think. He's this guy, he does one science video a day. Really cool stuff. That's where I found out this info from, and just blew me away. Just the shit that we got going on now is so fascinating. I mean, the entire way we think about things is bound to change. It always is, and it's always going to continue to change. And it should, it should. Because your view should always be changing, depending on whatever new information you have available to you. Don't be stubborn. Learn. Try to learn a thing or two. Honestly, I think that's about it. I think I got everything covered out of the way. But guys, you know what it is. We make videos for, people that fuck bitches and read books. You know what I mean? That's what we're out here doing. So I hope you learned a thing or two. Antonio, especially you. You need it most. I'm gonna insert the clip now. My brother. I'll put his AI joke, and then I'll do the video of him eating wasabi. But thank you guys so much. Sorry again for the delay on the video, but I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I did. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Love you.
Why would you do that to yourself? Holy moly. Holy moly.
Alright, so Antonio's actually got a pretty good AI joke. Actually, the best AI joke I've ever heard. But we're just being fair here. So I figured, why not let him come on the show and tell it? So, without further ado, this is Antonio telling his joke.
AI this, AI that. Hey, why don't you shut your fucking mouth?
There we go. Anything else you would like to add?
Got all them ribs. I'm pussy too.
Okay, a little Barack Obama for you. Alright, there we go. Well, thanks for being here, Antonio, and you're never going to talk shit about my show again, right?
No promises. No promises. I think the woke mind virus.
I gotta cut this out. I'm literally gonna cut this.